Microphone test.
Microphone test.
Okay.
Testing.
You know, we're gonna need to speak that loud.
Damn. All right.
Roughly.
That's rough.
Well, it's because
Yeah, I know.
I can't figure out the. Oh, I can't get it set up. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cisco.
And Isaiah.
And today we are going to be diving into a little bit of a
Discussion, I would say, just like the last video we did. This
Yeah.
is gonna be what kind of airsoft player are you? That's right. You gotta do that. You. I'm so glad you got that reference. That makes me so happy.
Wait,
Yeah.
what was the reference? Because I thought of Soldier Boy Tello.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else would I be referencing?
I don't know. That's why I was asking. I got confused.
But yes, we're going to be talking about what type of airsoft player you might be.
Yes.
Maybe if you're just getting into this, maybe what you can kind of expect, what's going to happen in the foreseeable future for you as an airsofter. But it's going to be real fun. We're going to be talking about some guns, of course, and some other things as well. But yeah, we have quite a few different guns on here as well. All these are going to be ranging from beginner tier to more like the intermediate to advanced tier. And that's kind of done for a reason.
Yeah, so we talked off camera. Well, actually, we talked quite a lot.
Yeah.
But we were talking about what defines like a beginner player, what defines an intermediate player, and advanced player. So today we're going to be focusing on the beginner and intermediate because advanced players, you already know what's up. But Isaiah, what would you say define? I have a notepad here.
Yeah, we're reading off the script. It's not always off the dome, guys,
Yeah.
all right?
Well, we noticed that we rambled a lot in the last one. We went off tangent.
A little bit, yeah.
Like we're doing right now. So
we're trying to stay focused.
This should keep us structured. So what would you say defines a new player or a beginner airsofter?
I mean, there's a couple different definitions which you can go with. If I had to pick like one solid, definitive like answer that could do it all, I would say someone that does not have at minimum 1 year experience of playing airsoft on a field or even owning an airsoft gun.
Oh yeah,
right.
okay.
And that even if you did, I would say maybe they're only familiar with like the sporting good aisle of like a some type of like department store, right? Like obviously your Walmart,
department store. Is Walmart considered a department store?
Yeah, they have different departments. Yeah.
I guess so.
Right? Yeah.
By
Target.
technicality, yeah, I guess.
Target actually doesn't sell any, but that'd be crazy if they did, right?
Yeah.
I think they used to have sporting goods.
I don't
back in
even
the day.
think Walmart, or at least Walmart in California, I don't think sells airsoft guns anymore.
Not anymore that I remember. Yeah. But again, it could also be like the sporting goods stores themselves, like Big Five, Sports Chalet, Sports Authority. I think they're still around, maybe.
Yeah, they might have very limited, like what you would see at a sporting goods store, like what we reference as like Springers.
Yeah.
It's like all the clear airsoft guns, maybe like it's half clear, half like solid colored, sometimes black, usually not. Maybe it's like orange or blue or something. You know, it's one of them.
And even if they were, let's say, looked very similar to the airsoft guns that you would find in an actual airsoft store, the performance is definitely not going to be anywhere near the same that you would get, even from your most beginner, I would say, airsoft AEG, right? They're just not going to be the same thing. Yeah. I always call them the Big Five specials, just because, I mean, that really does sum it up. If you've been playing for a while, you know exactly what that means.
Mm-hmm. I would say personally, like, one of my first, if we're going by, like, first airsoft gun, it was more than likely a spring like, pistol, or it was like an electric. Actually, I remember having an electric M9 that took 4 AAA batteries in the grip.
That's crazy.
And I modded that motherfucker.
Wait, how did you modify that?
I made it shoot full auto. It only shot like 100 FPS.
What the heck?
I modded it to shoot full auto. That thing was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, it's long gone now, but
man, I really wish I wish I could have seen this. This would have been absolutely fun.
This is probably like 2002, maybe.
Oh my god,
young. That's why I say I got started in airsoft in 2006 because like that was like when I got my first actual like competitive airsoft gun. But okay, continue. Sorry for cutting off.
No, you're just like I would consider that a beginner, right? I don't think anyone would really debate me on whether or not that makes a beginner player. They're also known for just not knowing what actually exists out there, right? Like I said, they're very familiar with like maybe sporting goods stores or just sporting goods aisle in like department stores. They're not familiar with other shops that might exist out there. And most especially not familiar with any fields that might be in their local area. That's another big thing as well. They might not even be aware that they might be like 5 minutes away from like an airsoft arena or something. Which actually happened to me at one point. I remember thinking that my local paintball field was just paintball.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea that they did airsoft.
Talking about HSP?
Yeah. And it wasn't until I got there that I played paintball that I was like, wait, They play airsoft here,
Oh.
and I completely got rid of any potential of me playing paintball like as a hobby. And I said, screw all that. I'm going full in on the airsoft thing because I had been playing airsoft at that point, but just like in my backyard, with the Big 5 specials and the springers.
Yeah, honestly, that's like another like key definer of like a quote unquote new player, beginner player. It's like they're like backyard plinkers.
Yes.
Right? They haven't gone to play, like what you said.
Target shooting, maybe shooting cans.
Yeah, exactly. And they probably have light exposure on like social media. Like they've probably watched like the sniper compilation. I remember when I first started.
Oh yes, everyone watched those. Those are always fun.
Which is why my first real airsoft gun was a L96, because I saw so many sniper compilation videos, and honestly, they were terrible. Like I saw Scout the Doggy videos.
I'm glad you say it. I'm glad you say it because that's exactly what I was going to be going into as well. Because like we have some examples here too that we're going to be showing off, but like that's another big thing too that a lot of beginner players too, when they do start getting into the hobby in and of itself, maybe they're very unfamiliar with what exactly they should be buying.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually a shared experience I think amongst most beginner airsoft players, at least guys in our generation, maybe even a little bit older, maybe a little younger as well. I feel like the current generation has a lot more tools available to them, but again, I think they're limited to just what they see at sporting goods stores or what they see on even Amazon as well.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me started on Amazon. I don't want.
That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Don't use Amazon.
But yeah. So to start off, well, we started by saying a lot, but to continue. What would you say the average budget is for a newer airsofter?
If we're just talking gun only, right?
Okay.
If we're talking gun only with maybe everything you need to get that gun up and running, get that gun operational, I would say that you would have to have a budget at minimum, and I do mean bare minimum, about $150, $160 to about $200. We have plenty of options on our site even that will carry, the gun with a battery and charger. Now, the battery and charger may not be the most new thing in the world, you know what I mean? It may not be the most newest as in technology, right? It's gonna be one of those old school nickel metal hydrates, if you know what I'm talking about. Those old school batteries.
No, screw that. Get one of them fatty nickel metal cadmium batteries.
Oh my god!
Some of you guys that know that, those
I do know that one.
Thickum boys. Oh yeah, they're terrible.
That was ridiculously over thick. Hey, that's what she said. Anyway, yes, those batteries. Yeah. Just not the newest technology you get in the world, but hey, it's enough to get you started, man. It's enough to get you out on the field, get you playing. You could do all that reasonably for under $200. I would say as long as you're willing to spend at minimum $150, $160, you have some options.
Yeah, just getting into the gun by itself. So we do actually have a couple of examples here. Honestly, these two are like part of like the top tier of what I would recommend.
Yeah, no. On the first, I'll just go down like the list, right? For a beginner gun, I don't even like calling it a beginner gun because I feel like that adds like the connotation that you can't use it as a more experienced player.
Yeah.
Like that's not the case here at all. I mean, this is going to be the officially licensed Beach Defense Type A rifles that are from Lancer Tactical. Lancer Tactical actually did a bang-up job putting these bad boys together. Fully licensed, like I mentioned. Yep. Full metal handguard on here, but you're still getting the original polymer upper and lower receiver. You got the trades throughout, of course, here. This one is going to be the Mark II. I actually really like this handguard a lot. Actually, it's very sweet. Yeah, thank you.
I do really like this one as well. It has the Gen 3 pistol grip because this is a stand-in for my section later. But it does have their updated NSR stock, which is super nice as well.
Very spacious as well, which is kind of nice because all the Gen 2s of this one will actually come included with a... No, but not the Gen 2. I'm thinking about the other model. We actually do have combos that feature a battery and charger for it, and it's actually quite a big battery you can get with this, too.
Yeah, honestly, the battery space in this is actually pretty thick. So kudos to Lancer Tactical for developing that stock. But honestly, like this one, if we're talking for beginner airsofters, I'd probably put this on like the higher top tier part of that list.
Top 3 for sure.
Yeah, just because like standard version 2 gearbox for beginners that doesn't mean anything, but for everyone that knows what a version 2 gearbox is, it means it's upgradable. It can take all of those upgrade parts. Has a quick change spring system. Again, beginners won't know what that is.
That alone, right? The fact that you can get a gun that's... Again, this is coming from a couple of boomers here, right? The fact that you can get a gun that costs under $300, under $250 even, that comes with a true quick change spring system, mind you, is nuts to me still to this day. Yeah. Like, I know it's been some time, obviously, since that's been a thing, and a lot of guns come standard now with that, but I'm still stuck in the past where I'm thinking, man, that's freaking nice, man.
No, absolutely, because I still have a couple guns, luckily, that that weren't taken from the Great Raid Garage Raid.
No.
But I'm gonna bring it up whenever I can. But that are the original version 2 gearbox without a quick chain spring system. So for those of you guys that don't know, a quick chain spring system allows you to change the spring quickly. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It's one of the main contributing factors to why the FPS reads a certain level, right? Yep. So right now, let's say I would say the majority of guns that you get are typically going to be above 350, usually around the 360 to 375 FPS, maybe a little bit higher. But there's indoor play is still a thing, right? That's still very much a popular way to play, but a lot of these guns shoot too hot for that. So quick change spring system easily allows the player to take out the spring, swap it out for a lower tension one.
Yep.
You're done, right? Now you have a gun that shoots under 350, as opposed to the old school way, which was either buy a new gun, change out the upper, build a new upper for CQB, right? And even then, it's not guaranteed it'll work.
Yeah.
Or you have to fully disassemble the whole thing just to change like a $10 spring.
Yeah, yeah, and the latter there, I did both of those where I would either change the spring. Actually, I've done all of those things.
Yeah.
I built upper sealers for a high FPS gun, so it brings it under 350, so I can take it indoors. I've also bought new guns dedicated for specific fields or like FPS limits, and I've also had to take apart gearboxes, original non-quick change spring system gearboxes, to change out the spring, and it's such a hassle. And I'm glad that the quick change spring system is a feature that's been adopted by I think every airsoft company.
If
now.
an airsoft company is coming out with I would say like a beginner to intermediate priced gun, and it doesn't at least have a quick change spring system,
yeah.
If it's an old gun that's been around for a while, it gets a pass, right? Obviously, it came out at a different time. But if it's coming out now, like if G&G came out with a brand new beginner-friendly gun, and it didn't have a true quick change spring system, I'll be honest, I don't even know if I'd pass it a second glance.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's funny now because 10, 15 years ago, the combat machine from G&G was like the go-to starter gun. But now that companies have evolved and have updated their systems, it's really hard to say that the original combat machine is it anymore.
Yeah, I'll say it too. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not it anymore.
Especially, and trust me, guys, I owned so many G&G guns throughout my airsoft life. Okay, not only does it not have a quick change spring system, but their barrel rail assembly or handguard assembly was proprietary. If you wanted to change out anything of the handguard, you needed to completely rebuild it. Outer barrel, rail, gas block, if you really want the realism and stuff. Like, it would cost a lot of money, which is actually why I put the BG Defense guns at the higher tier, because unlike the regular Gen 2...
Even the Gen 3s, yeah.
Yeah, even the Gen 3s that have polymer rails, these BG Defense guns have licensed full metal rails, which is super dope.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Yeah, we were talking about it before and trying to, if you were to get just a base Gen 2 Lancer Tactical AEG, it would be anywhere from like 180 to 210 bucks, give or take, right? And then if you wanted to put a full metal rail, something sleek and nice with like M-Lock, more than likely it's going to be licensed. So let's say like a PTS rail.
Oh, yeah. No,
right?
That's minimum going to be like
70, 80
bucks, yeah.
Minimum, right? Like even other companies like the BCM Air and other things, like you're spending at least another 80 bucks just for the metal rail versus this one.
I used to have to spend $100-something on the Daniel Defense license stuff from Mad Bull. You remember those?
My god, the amount of times I had to buy that fucking rail. $119.99.
Yes!
Plus tax.
Yeah, you know exact price, yes.
Because I bought that so many times. But no, yeah, so like same thing, right? It's cool that it comes with the metal handguard out of the box. It just gives you a little bit more reliability, a more sturdy feeling, adds a little bit of weight, which I really liked. I mean, it's a balancing game. It's funny because in airsoft, like a lot of guys would like, look how heavy it is. It's just as heavy as my real one. And then like
in the rest of the world,
look how
light this is. The grass is always greener on the other side, man.
Exactly.
If it weren't for the BG defense guns, I would have to say that if I had to put this on like ranking, this would probably be like number 1 right now. But
Yeah.
number 2, not too far behind to be honest though, would probably have to be the Stalker series.
Yeah, another Lance tactical gun.
A Lance tactical gun right here. This is the Stalker series. They come in different lengths as well. Obviously, I have the shorter length here. You get the nice 7-sided M-lock handguard on here. A slightly different receiver
7?
too.
Oh, 7-sided.
Yeah, 7-sided.
Oh, okay. I thought we were counting M-lock slots.
No. 7-sided. 7-sided.
Oh.
7 sides on there.
I need to make corrections.
Oof. But we also have a slightly different receiver group on here as well, as opposed to the old school Forge. It's the billet style with the enlarged controls. This is actually basically just the polymer version of the Gen 4s.
Which we have right here.
We're showing that off too.
Honestly, Lance Tactical, hear me out. All the original models that you have,
Just redo them.
yeah, redo them. Keep a select few of them, like the classic M4, A1 and stuff.
The Mark 18, LT31, keep that.
Yeah,
that one's fine.
But move it all over to the NSR receiver set. It has ambidextrous controls.
An actual locking bolt catch too.
Yeah. It's just and the thing about this is like you're getting like additional like aesthetic features that are just like first world,
Very first world problems. Yes.
Yeah, it like you're getting this one retails for like $205
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
with a lithium ion battery.
That's the other thing too. That's why this one, if it's not number 1, it's at least number 2, because you actually get a really, really solid 11-watt lithium-ion battery and a smart charger out the box. Like, it's a really good battery and charger. Those batteries and chargers on their own, minimum $20 to about $30 each.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you're saving yourself quite a bit of money with something like
Well,
this.
20, 30, I'd say like $30 to $40 just for the battery, and then the charger.
Oh, just the charger, yeah.
And then the just the charger is another like you're like $60 to $70 for a set, and you're getting it included with the gun. And this one has all the updated features: ambient controls, the NSR stock,
Still quick change.
still quick chain spring system as well. And it does have a polymer handguard, but Laser Tactical's polymer is actually quite sturdy.
You don't believe them? Check out the torture test they did a while ago on this thing. It holds up. It holds up.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, again, like fits into that $200-ish price range for a beginner airsofter.
But then we get into the guns that I wouldn't or at least a gun style that I personally wouldn't really recommend to a lot of players. And I do find that there are a lot of beginner players. We've all done it before. You and I have both done this, where we see all those sniper compilations. We think, oh boy, I can't wait for that to be me. It still hasn't happened yet, man. It still hasn't happened. It's sniper rifles, bolt actions in general, whether it be something like an L96, or something like one of these. Yeah, let's deploy that. There you go.
It's just friction lock.
There we go.
Gen 4, you're gonna have to sit on it. Bolt action sniper rifle.
Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of beginner players, because obviously their exposure is very limited, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of guys in our generation, unless you were shopping at GI, right? And I will stand on that hill. Unless you were shopping at GI, or maybe just a really, really good shop that genuinely cared about its customers, which a lot of them didn't, believe it or not. A lot of guys were there just to sell you crap, right? Which happened to me. I was sold a bunch of stuff that I didn't need, or that I wasn't going to like, or just wasn't going to be good. But I was allured to it because of the price. Bolt actions were one of those things, unfortunately, where you could actually get a bolt action that was fairly inexpensive, even at the time. At least I saw a few. And I ended up getting myself one as well at one point, just getting into it, and man, it sucked. I hated it. It was the worst, because I'm over here thinking I'm going to get headshots from across the map. I didn't realize that you needed to upgrade basically all of them, if you even could upgrade all of them, because not all of them, the parts were always available, right?
You could have one model of a gun, but it's built probably like 5-6 different ways.
Yeah, you have an L96, you know all about that. The what is it, the 2 or 3 different specs that exist for L96s out there? It's it's pretty nuts, man. It's very upsetting.
So from personal experience, I think both of us can say, if you are starting your airsoft journey, looking into getting your airsoft gun, I know those videos, those sniper compilations are cool. I know it, like you've seen Shooter with Mark Wahlberg and just that long distance shot with the shy tactic.
Or I guess now people would say it's American Sniper, right?
That's yeah, even American Sniper, same thing. You have that same type of feel, right? And it looks cool. I absolutely agree. But you have no idea how much work it actually takes to get like that many kills. Like, granted, I will give like a lot of those players their flowers because they play aggressively, right? They're not playing in the way that the average person thinks a sniper would.
Yeah.
When you think sniper, you're thinking like, oh, I gotta
Stealthy. He's
Yeah.
hiding in
You
a
know,
creek somewhere.
I'm all the way in the back. I'm picking headshots. You know, the videos that you see, these guys are on the front line because you're getting effectively about the same range as an AEG, but better accuracy. That's typically what I tell people. But again, what Isaiah said, you do have to upgrade them as well. Now, technology has evolved.
Yes, don't get me wrong. There are some sniper rifles that are coming out the box now that are light years more advanced and better performance than anything that we had growing up.
Yeah,
right?
but if you want performance like you see in those videos, know that those guys spent at least $500 just in upgrades.
Oh my god, yes.
At least I've seen $1,200, $1,500 sniper rifle setups, so they can get like extreme accuracy, but it's never like honestly. It's a comparison to like real firearms.
Sure,
it's never going to be like pinpoint accurate. Right?
No,
but you're going to get a good, consistent like range and dialed in accuracy with hundreds of dollars of upgrades.
And here's the thing, I again, you guys know me, if anyone that's been watching the channel for a little bit, I always encourage people to try to go outside the norm. Right? I will always encourage people to buy something other than just a regular M4 AEG. Right? There are other options that exist out there. However, with all those options out there, and with all that being said, if you are a beginner or someone that is trying to become a beginner or become a full-time airsofter, I make it sound like a job, being a full-time airsofter, you're going to want to stick with the AR for the very first one. At the very least, your first option.
Yeah.
Now, I've shown off a few models here, but there's so many different routes that you can take with this as well. And there's other platforms you get. You don't even have to necessarily start with that. Let's say you wanted to do more of like the indoor style stuff, right? Pistols. You could 100% start off with a pistol. I had a high kappa here.
It was somewhere. It's gone now.
It might be gone. All right,
You want to go find it?
Yeah, I'll find it.
We'll find it. While he's talking, so I want to elaborate a little bit further on what Isaiah was saying. I don't think it needs to be like an AR M4 specifically, but as long as it's an AEG, I think that's a good place to start. And specifically a rifle, not an electric pistol, okay? Even debatable like spring shotguns. Those are one of my favorite starter airsoft guns. Isaiah's is moving around over there. But, Isaiah's! You blind motherfucker!
Damn it! Dang it! Okay, I don't know.
It's right under his nose!
Hey man, it's so big. I can't see under it. You know?
Okay, but to elaborate a little bit further, like, if you get like an AK or a G36 or even like an AUG, you know, something that has aftermarket support, can be upgraded, but has it meets the like the velocity limits and can be competitive, I think that's the best place to start. Like, of course, like our recommendations are going to be the best, but
he's not wrong. He's right.
But it really, like, there have been players that I've helped out that are starting off their airsoft journey, and they're like, oh, I really want to get into, oh geez, I really want to get into like a G36. I'm just gonna say something random, right? And like, even though like accessories wise, like it doesn't have as much modularity like for like stocks and like handguard stuff.
Yeah.
If that's a gun that you really want to get into, I recommend going for it. As long as it's, you know, as long as it can be repaired and upgraded internally for performance and stuff, I think it's a good place to start. And people will learn the hard way. Again, I bought a sniper rifle as my first airsoft gun. I learned the hard way. But when I you know, corrected myself and learned and played with AEGs and getting into gas blowbacks and stuff later, I eventually went back to the sniper rifle, and I had a deeper appreciation for it because I knew what to expect. I knew what to do. But for you guys that are starting out, let me just remove this off the table. Just don't consider it, please.
Yeah.
Please.
And for all my indoor guys, like I was originally alluding to, if you're gonna go indoors, right, and start playing, like if you really want to get into more of the competitive scene, I mean, it doesn't really take too much work, detective work, to try to figure out what the most popular platform is. High kappa, right? Like, if you really want to be a pistol main, at the very least, go with a high kappa.
Yeah.
Because you know that you'll be able to find the parts, you'll be able to find the magazines, you'll be able to find any decent tech, preferably us, but you can go to any decent tech at that point, and they should be able to help you out if you ever want to do the upgrade routes or just getting things back up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The high kappa is one of those platforms that has that aftermarket support, the upgradability, the styles, just it being able to be repaired. I mean, if especially for you indoor players that have done or looking into becoming an indoor player, I would say indoor players, they do a little bit more research.
Yeah.
There's a type of crowd that fits the indoor player, and I would compare them to people that only wear Gucci and Prada.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, so they go for a little bit of the finer things.
Name brand only.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. Like this was a Lancer Tactical Heracles. This is a Tokyo Marui spec high kappa. As long as it's Tokyo Marui spec, I think you're good to go. You're in a good place. There are other companies that aren't quite Tokyo Marui spec, like WE or AW. Those ones may need some modifications or are a completely different spec completely. But if you're getting into a platform that can be repaired, I think it's a good place to start. This one retails for
$149, I believe.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. I was going to say like 140, 150-ish. And this one actually comes with a lot of features. This one has the included Picatinny rail already in the frame, something that the original Tokyo Marui 5.1 has that I don't really like is the rail that has to be screwed in to the frame, and that leads to other issues. But this one has optic plate for whatever optic you want to run. It has suppressor height sights. That's mainly aesthetic things, but again, they're iron sights. You can run it the way you want to, and literally just swap it out for whatever you want. You can change the inner barrel, the bucking, the blowback housing, the trigger. You can make this aesthetically however you want to and be competitive. And honestly, I would say out of the box, especially for indoor players, you don't need to do any of that because you're at such a close range. You're not gonna have to worry about like super pinpoint accuracy shooting like 50 yards.
Bear in mind, you can. If that's really what you want to go for, by all means, it is actually very easy to do so. Barrel and bucking upgrade on pretty much anything TM spec is going to be pretty easy to do.
Yeah, and I think that kind of leads us into the intermediate class.
Yeah, now that let's assume now we've gone forward in time, you've gotten yourself your airsoft gun, you've been playing for a little bit, you started doing more research, right? You started going beyond Amazon, beyond the department store.
Actually, hold on. Before we get into that, I have notes here of things that a new player should do to make your life a little bit easier. Number one is do a little bit of research of your local airsoft community.
It doesn't take a lot of effort to just go on the computer, right? Or go on your phone and be able to just airsoft near me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whether that be fields, whether that be stores, shops, whatever it might be, just airsoft near me. I guarantee you're going to find something. Maybe it might not be the closest thing in the world, right? Obviously, we're spoiled for choice here in Southern California.
Yep.
But again, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you might be way closer than you realize.
Yeah, absolutely. And then from there, do a little bit of research on the platform that you want to get into. Again, AK, M4, high kappa, whatever it is. Look at that platform, see what its potential is for upgradability and repairs, and move on from there. And then get into the finer details of tactical gear, safety gear.
What's required, basically. If you do want to play at a local field, just look into their rule set, see what's required in terms of PPE in order to actually get onto the field and play properly.
Yeah, in terms of what?
PPE. Protective material. Almost like a face. Yeah, that's the proper term for it.
I haven't heard that since COVID. I was like, what are you saying? Okay.
You know what? Yeah, fair.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah. And then also look into essentials for what you would need to play as well. BBs, green gas, extra batteries, magazines, things like that. That will make your experience much better. Okay, now getting into the intermediate player. What makes an intermediate player?
What defines it, Cisco?
Yes. So what Isaiah said, backing off of him, it's someone that's been playing for a little bit longer. I'd say maybe like a year or so, maybe, give or take 6 months, right? They've been in the game for a little bit. They've gone out to the field a few times. They have one, maybe two different airsoft guns. Who knows? Maybe they have a lot more of a budget and they have a small collection already. But, someone that's been playing for a little bit, and maybe not consistently. You go more times than someone who isn't in airsoft wood, which is already better. But yeah, so the way that I like to define it, it's such a hard thing to draw a line between each class, right? Because they just slowly bleed into each other. But for intermediate players, I would say it's someone who goes to the field, maybe, let's just say bare minimum once a month.
Sure.
Right? Once a month, they have a few airsoft guns. Maybe their average budget on a new airsoft gun or project is $300 to $400.
Sure.
Give or take.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Maybe they have dabbled into milsim, or they're looking into attending their first
airsoft event, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Not something extreme like Milsim West, but maybe something
like a local field, like organizes a small event.
Yeah,
right? Something like that, or a shop has like a 1 day type play thing.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that where it's longer game format, but
not a hardcore Milsim where you're camping for like 48 hours straight.
Exactly. So something like that, right? Or maybe the games are a little bit longer, like 4 hours or so.
Sure.
Right, something like that. And again, maybe they're dabbling into other platforms, and they have maybe a little bit of tech knowledge. Not saying that they're a tech per se, but they can confidently change an inner barrel and bucking.
Like they would be able to explain to you how an airsoft gun works.
Exactly. Or who knows? Maybe they have had a little bit of experience of dabbling in the gearbox as well. You know, they have more knowledge compared to obviously a beginner airsofter.
Mm-hmm.
So things that they would look out for, usually it comes down to performance, right? In terms of their airsoft guns, they kind of know the platform that they like, and what they've already set up their gear toward. So now they're looking at fine tuning their equipment. What can I do? Or maybe they're looking into upgrading into something that can meet their demands, right? So the stand-in is going to be I would say this is at the starting point of a intermediate player, is going to be the Lancer Tactical Type A officially licensed rifles, but the Gen 3 version. Now, the difference with the Gen 3 version compared to the Gen 2 is going to be internally. Externally, it's still going to have the full metal rail.
It's the exact same external build.
Yeah, exact same, but it's going to have a 19K high torque neodymium magnet motor, a steel gear set, 1801s, and the Zion Arms Nebula 1 MOSFET.
Which, to this day, is still one of my favorite MOSFETs that you can get out the box, ever.
Oh, yeah.
That thing is sturdy as heck.
Yeah, it is pretty tanky. It does have programmability for the full auto setting. So basically, you can do safe, semi, and then like a burst mode or binary.
Binary is so good on those things, man.
Or even semi only, so you're semi-locking the gun. But it gives you options, right? And because of that Zion Arms Nebula MOSFET and the Neo Magnet motor, you do get increased trigger response. I will say the Gen 3s are really snappy. They, even from our testing, what we've done with them, they can handle quite a lot, and it's not much more expensive compared to a Gen 2 or a beginner airsoft gun. This one in particular, because of the full metal rail and the official licensing, these ones are going to retail for about, I want to say, two.
They're usually starting at the 220-ish.
Yeah, 220, 230-ish. All right, sorry guys, we did get interrupted really quick, but getting back on topic, I looked it up while we were off camera, and the Type A Gen 3s retail for $225. It's actually insane. For
what you're getting?
Yeah, absolutely. You get the increased performance. I mean, granted, it does not include a battery charger, but an intermediate player should already have those.
Yeah,
right?
You'd already have the basics and the essentials covered at that point. It would just be getting a brand new gun.
Exactly. So having it $225 with the metal rail, that's literally only like $15-$20 more than a Gen 2. I think the added value of performance is well worth it. Again, with the metal handguard.
Actually, that does kind of beg the question. When it comes to an intermediate gun, right? Because we looked at a bunch of beginner guns loosely termed, right? What would you define as an intermediate gun? What's the prerequisite needed for a gun to be considered like an intermediate gun? What separates that from a beginner?
So that's actually, that's a very good question, because I know you and I will run our quote unquote entry level guns or beginner guns.
Yeah.
All the time. Honestly, I find myself gravitating toward picking up one of my more affordable AEGs compared to taking out like, oh my Tokumaroi NGRS, like, oh my, like, so that's really an interesting question. I think it does come down to the overall performance. So, I mean, as I reiterated, but so I think obviously you should expect better performance compared to a standard version 2 or standard gearbox AEG, no ETU. So maybe like 18-ish BBs a second, like on full auto. Trigger response is lackluster. It could definitely be improved upon. I would say with today's technology and what's available, you should expect a faster trigger response. You should expect a intermediate airsoft gun to be a level 1 lipo ready. I mean, even like some beginner airsoft guns are a level 1 lipo ready. I mean, granted, like
no MOSFET in there, but I mean,
it still handles it. Honestly, like the Lancer Tactical Stalker. Okay, there's the Stalker, and then there's the I don't know.
They had so many different names. Their naming convention's weird. I'll be real. That's the only downside with Lancer.
I think it's supposed to be like the Hunter because they have the Predator.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm stalking my prey.
I don't think the gun wants to be known as the Predator, bro. That's just kind of I'm the Predator. Oh.
Well, like Alien versus Predator. Right?
I mean, you could take it that way.
I'm trying to get back on topic.
Yes.
But yeah, it should be a level 1 lipo ready. Increased performance. I think that's the main thing, and then features like externally, it all depends on the player and the price point really. Just a little bit more of a budget can get you into an intermediate airsoft gun, which I hate to say that because there are people who start their airsoft journey with more budget.
Yeah,
like, they're just doing well off in life. Congratulations to them. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Trying to be like you, my boy. Yeah, so if someone does have more of a budget, and they say like typically those guys that do have more of a budget, they do a little bit more research.
Yeah.
So, but I want something that's better shooting. So, like depending on the price point, we recommend them something accordingly. But price range, I would say, honestly, this is like under what I would expect for intermediate gun. I'd say like 250 starting, going up till nowadays. Honestly, probably like reaching about 400, which it hurts to say.
Right, times have changed.
Times have definitely changed, but the quality and technology has definitely improved. And again, it does come down to what you're getting out of the box. So, again, Gen 3 Type A from Lancer Tactical. One, of course, note is going to be I'll show that side because
there you go.
The Mail Gang logo on it. Will it balance? I'll balance it off of the optic there.
I'll hold it. This is giving me a.
I was going right into the trigger guard.
It's giving me anxiety.
Yeah. The MGC4 Mark III, even the Mark I and Mark II. Our goal with creating these, shout out to Lancer Tactical because they give us like direct access to their warehouse or their factory to build these. But our goal was to create a well-performing airsoft gun that doesn't break the bank, and that's something that every airsofter should consider here.
Oh yeah,
I'll save your hand.
I think that's what every airSofter wants, right? Something that's going to be reasonably priced. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and it's still going to perform like an absolute champ. Which I mean, we mission accomplished. We're on Mark III at this point. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy.
That's a testament to how popular that our MGC4 series has been, which I'm very proud of. I'll be honest. Like I look at that with like, hell yeah, these things. Yeah, they got a reputation. They're good.
I will say though, I do think. Lancer Tactical, from the Gen 1, they shout out to Anthony because he did a really good job talking about the history of Lancer Tactical.
Oh yeah,
and how they really do take player feedback and community feedback, and they're listening. And I really respect what Lancer Tactical does because I do think some of our ideas, some of the things that we did with our Gen 1, Gen 2, they kind of implement. You're welcome. But yeah, something like the MGC4 series or the Lancer Tactical Gen 4 Predator series, these are bleeding into the $300 to $400 range, depending on which one you get.
The Gen 4s, like, they start at like 289.
Oh yeah,
right?
for the Nebula 2 MOSFET
Yeah.
version. That's actually insane.
There is, like, if you want to get, I guess, break into, like, I guess the more higher end variants, yeah, you could go with the Aster version.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I like the Nebula version a little bit more personally. And the price point's a little bit easier to get into.
Yeah, $280. That's literally, again, $50, $60 more than the Gen 3. About 80-ish bucks more than a Gen 2. You're getting into a full metal receiver. Well, okay, so let's break it down a little bit. So, with a Gen 4 Predator using the Nebula 2 MOSFET, you're getting the Nebula 2 MOSFET. Internally, you are getting upgraded features as well. You're getting a 16-to-1 gear set. You're getting the aluminum, I believe, air nozzle, cylinder head, and piston head. The steel tooth piston is actually in all of their AEGs, which is super dope.
Super nice.
Yeah. But
25K motor, if I'm not mistaken, on this one.
Yeah, 25K motor. Does this one have the so rotary style hop up unit? I do believe
the Aster version will have the CNC hop up chamber.
Yeah, which is why the Aster version is a little bit more expensive. I think those ones are like 360, 380.
Yeah, around there, 360.
Something like that. But yeah, you're getting the full metal. This is their original design Lancer Tactical. This is starting to look like a Lancer Tactical shill ad. I just realized.
These are just prime examples, right? If we had to list some other stuff that I would say in terms of like an intermediate brand, I would also say Arcturus would also be like a really good brand that I would. Arcturus does also a really good job of showing like some beginner stuff and also some like high end stuff and everything in between.
Yeah.
Just the downside is, again, if we're comparing price per price and pound for pound, I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
better deal. You do the math.
To each their own, honestly. Yeah, even like companies like G&G, they've updated as well, but they're a little bit more expensive nowadays, honestly.
And from what I've seen, I think G&G really does focus today, in today's day and age of airsoft. I think they primarily seem to focus on their higher end and like maybe their intermediate a little bit, but mostly higher end because most of the guns that are coming out now are like minimum like over $300.
No, I agree. Yeah, honestly, that's fair. I think like something that they do really well is like they're trying to innovate as well because they have their split gearbox design with their is the MIG series. It's like their full metal.
Yes,
they have that version. Of course, like they have their lever action.
The Lavar, the
that one's
B10
cool.
shotgun.
Yeah, like and even their gas blowback M4.
Oh yeah,
like that's their own proprietary
NGCR,
system.
I think it was called
something
like that.
All these acronyms, guys, please,
just make it easy.
Please. Well, actually, it's funny because we clowned on Lancer for saying, "Oh, the Predator, the Stalker."
But you do know what they're talking about when you say it, right?
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, it really just depends on what your budget is, what you're looking for, and what features really appeal to you the most. But expected. Increased performance compared to a stock airsoft gun. Again, circling back to the Predator, this is their original design, full metal construction, ambidextrous controls, just like the
Stalker.
The Stalker, which is what Isaiah said earlier. This is the original design. Then they made it in polymer, but like really tactile feel. The Nebula trigger is actually adjustable, which is super nice. And honestly, out of the box, the 16-1 gear set and 25K Neo magnet motor. This gun rips.
Yeah, it's fast, man.
I mean, I hate to bring it up, but the video that we did with this infamous gun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a scar?
Yeah, I have a tiny.
Oh, there's a scar! Oh, no, I see this. I'm so sorry.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we filmed a short where we actually had the Mark III.
It was this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was that one.
You're the verdict. You're the criminal. Yeah, we did a skit that went horribly wrong, and
I got myself a little bit of a scar right there. So take with that information what you will.
Yeah, do with it what you will, as Wendigoon says. Shout out.
Actually, that does kind of lead us into like the next thing I wanted to ask, because you did mention also G&G's gas blowback stuff. Yes. What about the gas blowback scene in and of itself? Would you consider the gas blowback offerings that we have like in that intermediate, or would you consider that like more advanced? Because I've seen some intermediate players who had, like you said, who had just more money available to them.
Yeah.
Right? They really wanted to go ahead and invest in the gas blowback. Do you think gas blowback is an automatic disqualification for an intermediate gun, or not really?
No, honestly, I think we're just lucky to be in the time that we live in.
Yeah.
Because if you were to ask me that 5, even 10 years ago, I would have said, "Oh, you're bleeding into more advanced airsoft territory, right?" But with how affordable airsoft, actually, we have these are new to the website. The
The new Vorsk, the VMP2s.
Oh, damn, these things are so sweet.
They are fun.
These
they are
so
really fun.
Freaking sweet, dude. These are the Vorsk VMP2. There are 3 different models in 3 different flavors. This one is the designated marksman rifle, the DMR.
Yeah. This one looks. There's 2 of them that look nearly identical.
Yeah.
There's like slight difference in the magazine design, but it's the same mag basically at the end of the day. It's
Yeah.
the Recon version and the Marksman version.
Yeah. So there's this is the marksman version. The Recon, I believe, is a little bit shorter, and then we also have the Assaulter, which is a 11.5 inch barrel.
Yeah.
But this right here, they believe they retail for like $270-ish bucks.
Yeah, around there.
Give or take, right? For a gas blowback airsoft gun. Now, when I got started in the gas blowback, this was like 2012. It was a gun that never should have existed. It was the G&G gas blowback combat machine. And for those of you guys that know about it,
I blocked it out of my memory.
I respect you, and I am also sorry for you because I'm in that same boat. Again, around 2012, I got that system, and this whole thing was honestly, if you knew how to run it and you knew how to maintain it, it was actually pretty decent.
Sure.
So basically, actually, I'll bring mine in for a private collection one day.
Well, yeah, why not?
Because actually, that's a story. That whole gun's a story. But it basically used like a old, I believe it was like a GHK. It was like a gas blowback system in the shape of a gearbox, and it fit into AEG receivers. It took gas magazines. It was a closed bolt system, but it had a mock bolt that moved. But it took AEG inner barrels and buckings, but it had a proprietary hop-up unit. Again, it's
So
wild.
crazy.
It was a weird amalgamation, but that was for me a starting point because there were no other gas blowback rifles in that price range. I was on a limited budget. The gun at the time, I'm fairly sure it's discontinued. If it's not G&G, please discontinue it. But it retailed for like 150, maybe 170 bucks. Magazines at the time were 50 bucks a pop, and that, like, at that time, even to today's standard, that's expensive. I'd expect them to be like 70 or 80 bucks nowadays. But that was starting off, and again, I had to do a lot of learning and upgrading to get it functional. Nowadays, 270, 280 bucks. Not even just the Vorsk VMP2. Golden Eagle has their, I think it's their Gen 3 version of their gas blowback rifle. Lancer Tactical released theirs as well. All of those are going to be around the $300 to $400 price range, give or take. They're going to have aftermarket support and upgradability. And I think in the intermediate realm of airsoft, I think it's where you start to begin to explore different play styles of airsoft. So, like what I'm fairly sure all players are used to. This is gonna go terribly. I'm just gonna set that right there. Don't you dare fall. Appreciate you. With an AEG, 140 round, 200 round mid caps, whatever.
$12.
It's $12. You have your airsoft gun for, let's say, 300 bucks that shoots 25 rounds a second. It's a laser beam, and you're just so used to spamming, right? It really, like, you get used to it, and in the intermediate phase, eventually, it starts to become stagnant.
Yeah.
Right. This is where what I said earlier. You will start to explore different things, like getting into a Milsim event, so you can experience the game in a different way without having to invest into a new platform. But again, if you go into a new platform style, sorry, spam call. If you get into a new platform, you're changing up your gameplay of like what's accessible to you, right? You don't have to go to an event to experience something different. If you get into a gas blowback, or even like this is where I would start recommending getting into sniper rifles as well, because you already know how you play, or you played a few times. You have a gist of how you maneuver, and you have a better understanding of different things. So when you get into a new platform like a gas blowback or a bolt action sniper rifle, you know what to expect, because unlike a beginner airsofter who has no knowledge and thinks that they're going to be the best of the best of the best, what is that from? The best of the best of the best. Sir, oh, that's Men in Black.
That's a throwback on that one.
But you like as an intermediate player, you understand the basics of what it takes to get into a different platform.
I would also say that as an intermediate player, that's when you really start to get like proper expectations of what every gun can do, right? You already have your tried and true, right? You already have your old reliable that you can always go to. But again, to avoid things becoming stagnant and boring, this is when you can start. Okay, I kind of have an idea as to what I'm doing right now. Yep. I know that I can always go back to this if I want to, but I want to start branching off into other things. And you're right. I think branching off into the sniper rifles or branching off into gas blowbacks a little bit, even if it's one of the more affordable options, yep. I think that definitely is the most appropriate time to do it.
Yeah. I said it's hard to define the line between each like beginner, intermediate, advanced, because in the intermediate category, you could easily bleed into higher end or advanced airsoft, and I hate using the term
you pick up a Vorsk, and next thing you know, you grab this thing.
Honestly, I the way that I categorize players is like you're just starting out, or you're a player.
That's right? Like,
and depending on how long you're playing, should give you a rough estimate of how much they know. But again, I know a lot of people who've been in the game for a while and don't know how to upgrade a gearbox.
I know a lot of people that have been playing for some time and still don't know how to adjust their hop up. You'd be surprised, man, how many people go like regulars at Milsom West, and I'm gonna call them. I'm not gonna say their names, but there are plenty of guys that I've encountered on my own, not my own personally, but like my own faction that I'm playing on. That like I'm like, man, they did not adjust their hop whatsoever. I was like, I think you need to adjust it, and they're like, my what?
You're like, oh, it's so much further.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then when you show them, it like shoots so much. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know it did that at all. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I'm fairly sure as a intermediate player, you have heard the pros and cons amongst different brands, different platforms, what to expect, what not to. Why is this missing?
I just noticed that that's missing. There we go. Now it matches. Now we have a matching set.
Okay, that's hilarious. But you kind of have like what to expect, what not to expect from different platforms, and like something like if you're starting to get into a platform, a lot of people are going to have a bias for that platform. Like Isaias, I want to get a sniper rifle. I want it to be upgradable. What platform should I get?
VSR 10.
Thank you. I want to get a gas blowback rifle that's going to last me a very long time. That's going to be upgradable and have aftermarket support. What should I get?
GHK. Or no, yeah. I'm kidding. MWS.
Yeah, both. So
no, not GHK.
No, honestly, like
not right now.
Well, not right now, definitely not. But the WA system or like / GMP walk system, or the Marui MWS. These are platforms that are going to be around the same price point of like this one. Well, actually, I think the walk's a little bit more expensive or a little bit cheaper now.
For the sheer amount of availability of parts and aftermarket support, and just how many because we're in this like industry thing, right? And we've been telling you guys for a while though, knowing that every company is basically coming out with clones at some point or another of the MWS system. Like, yeah, it's the MWS system right now.
Yeah, honestly. If you can get into an MWS, it's one of those things where like they invented it, and it's been around for a while now. They innovated this.
I can see the comments already. Every VFC.
Oh my god, my Viper Tech is great.
Oh, I get a trip every time I hear someone mention Viper Tech. Yeah, but I know every VFC owner right now is frothing at the mouth saying, VFC's better. I like VFC too, guys. We like it too. We wouldn't carry it if we didn't like it either.
Well, honestly, it comes down to your personal preference. What platform do you like better? Again, pros and cons with each system, right? Tokyo Marui, they're great, but to get it like up to US spec, it's going to take quite a few upgrades. Watch Boaz's video. He did a really good job on that. But, if you're looking at something different, like if a VFC or Maruyama, like the new ISO 556, or there are other platforms, right? What the whole thing that I'm trying to get at is, you are now in the territory of expanding your your game style or gameplay in airsoft. And I think that's where starting at intermediate players moving on really fall into category. Again, it blurs the lines, but I think the main difference between a quote unquote advanced player and an intermediate player is God, just
Struggling with that one.
an intermediate player more than likely wants an airsoft gun that shoots well out of the box that they don't have to worry about upgrading, versus a advanced airsofter. They're probably going to do the upgrades themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
or at the very least, they know it's going to be a platform that they're going to dump money into, and they're okay with it. Because again,
Yeah.
like we mentioned, they're going to have a more, I would say, in-line expectation of what the gun is capable of, what it can do, and what its potential lies.
yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, we weren't going to talk about the advanced airsofter, but I want to dabble in it a little bit. An advanced player, when they're picking their platform, it depends on what subcategory of airsoft they really fit into. Like a CQB or Speedsoft or SpeedQB player, they're gonna go for all performance, right? They're gonna like whatever the base platform, as long as it's upgradable and it'll last a long time and it won't crap out on them when they need it. That's what they're gonna dump their money into. Versus a milsimmer, the other side of the coin, right? They might dabble in performance to an extent, but they might be going for a specialized kit. Like I need like this real AR-15 rail. I need to have this stock, or they're investing, like Isaiah said, into different tactical gear, and it really varies on what
Player to
you
player.
like what you prioritize. So I think that's the main difference, because like yes, like I've been in the airsoft game for a while. I don't consider myself an advanced player. I'm not that great of a player, honestly. But there are guns that I want to get and I don't want to upgrade.
I hear that.
Yeah.
No, there are some guns I have that in my collection too.
Yeah, it's just like okay, this shoots good enough. Like this is perfect the way it is. I don't want to like mess with it.
And every person right now that's watching or listening in and thinks, oh, if I can't upgrade it, then it's not good. No, you just suck. All right, I'm gonna die on that hill. All right.
No, that's fair, honestly, and it really is. Okay, guys, we got interrupted again, but I do think we are repeating ourselves. Let's just recap on what we have already discussed. Isaiah, what should beginner airsofters expect getting into airsoft?
They should expect to do quite a bit of research getting into it if they want it, because there are going to be a lot of options that are available to you in terms of maybe what fields you're going to be going to, what guns you want to be picking up, what amount of gear or accessories, all this stuff that's going to be available to you, and you might not know what you should be getting. So doing a little bit of research on the bare essentials is going to be like probably the most important thing.
Yep.
And figuring out what you want to do with your airsoft gun, whether that be backyard shooting, whether you want to just do some backyard plinking, right? Or if you actually want to bring it to an actual field and play with other players.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Also, I think beginner airsofters, because you are getting started in airsoft, there are some other things that you should learn how to do, like how to properly charge your batteries, how to load your magazines, if it's a mid cap or if it's a high cap magazine, how to adjust your hop up.
Yeah,
I think
that's
really important.
that's a big one.
What else? Let's see. Different BB weights too. I mean, that starts to get into a little bit more of the advanced, but I try to recommend heavier weight BBs to beginner players so they can see better accuracy out of the box. But I think what Isaiah said, doing your research of what you're looking into, your local airsoft community and field, like where's the closest field, where can you go, or if you plan on backyard shooting, just look into it a little bit, see what you can do, and I would say also find out what your budget is.
Yeah, that's another one as well. Kind of realize what it is that you can actually reasonably spend on your first set of airsoft equipment, gun included, obviously.
Yep.
That'll really help narrow down the options, or let you know, hey, if I do need to save more to get into something that's worth your time, then there you go.
Absolutely. As just like a quick guideline to follow, any electric airsoft gun that's like $120 less, probably not worth its weight in gold. Don't go for springers unless it's a spring shotgun.
Yes, spring shotguns.
Spring
Super
shotgun,
slept on.
different game. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, I would say starting off, try to at least $200. I think that'll get you in a very good ballpark, and you can take advantage of your local retail stores or online retail stores like promos. Like at Airsoft GI, we have tons of things discounted.
So many.
Like even sometimes the electric tactical guns are discounted, so you can get like a good starter airsoft gun with battery and charger and everything for less than $200. But it really just depends on you on what is accessible to you, because I like supporting like smaller businesses as well. I mean, Airsoft GI I would consider a smaller business.
Oh yeah.
But you know, do what fits your needs best. Whatever the budget is, whatever play style, whatever you're planning on doing in airsoft, follow your gut, and you know, do research is the key thing there.
Yeah.
I know it sucks and it sounds like, hey, you do your homework.
But it is true though. You do got to do it. You got to know what you're buying. It's like buying a car, right?
Yep.
Do you really want to go in there with have no prior knowledge whatsoever as to what to be looking for, or would you rather go well informed and know exactly what it is that you should be getting out of your airsoft gun?
Exactly. And then for intermediate airsofters, you've been playing for a little bit, you kind of know the game already. If you're looking for like something to enhance your gameplay, maybe look into upgrades. Again, simple things like barrel hop up unit, or if you're looking to a new platform, a higher performance AEG, or again, sniper rifles, gas blowback rifles, even just the class of it. Go for CQB, SMG, pistols, a pistol right there, or you know, maybe just a different genre of AEG. Go from M4 to an AK, or go hard left with an LMG, or hard right with, again, the sniper rifle. You know, there's so many options for you that you can really change up the style of how you play and the experience of the game, where honestly, you're the reason you get bored.
That's true. There's a lot of different factors at play, but typically speaking, you are your own person.
I feel like a jab at them. I'm sorry.
But it's true though, and to an extent, it actually is true. You do have the ability to shake things up for stuff. It's whether or not they actually really want to at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, we are in hard times. Money is obviously something that we all need to live in our society. Do what you can within your means. You know, we all want to enjoy airsoft. I'm not telling you need to buy this gun and go bankrupt and max out your credit cards to get this $1,200 airsoft gun. Hell no, don't do that.
No.
You know, I've blown whole paychecks on airsoft guns. Was it worth it for me? Sometimes, questionable. Most of the time, yes. But again, for you, as an intermediate player, or you're just starting to get your feet wet in the world of airsoft, I would like to welcome you into the community and have fun. That's the main thing.
The biggest thing that you can come to expect is that a lot of the players are hoping that you have a good time. So just go out, have a good time. Don't take it too seriously, right?
Yep.
Just don't take yourself too seriously. Realize you're going to get shot. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's all part of the learning experience. You're going to have fun, and you will get better if you consistently go. And you're going to make a ton of friends.
Absolutely. But all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for this episode. What are we titling it?
What type of airsofter are you? If you guys like this content, make sure to go ahead and leave a like on this video. Make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that bell icon so you're notified every time.
Hit that mother.
That's right. So you're notified every time we drop new content on the channel itself. If you want to support the channel directly, of course, get all your airsoft goodies, whether you are looking for beginner guns, intermediate guns, or something else entirely. Make sure to get it at airsoftgi.com. That keeps the cameras rolling and all this stuff still happening, all the lights on, and everything that you see here that we're doing, it's going to keep happening if you continue to support Airsoft GI directly.
Absolutely. Yep. Subscribe, like, get your goodies at airsoftgi.com, and we'll see you next time, Mail Gang.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace, y'all.